to my channel. My name is Jalisa, or Juju, or Ju. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about stepping into main character energy and how to do that. I'm kind of having like imposter syndrome a little bit, so I'm trying to like beat that bitch up, because part of me is like, yeah, I've been stepping in main character energy, like that's me, you know what I'm saying? But then the other part of me is like, you could be doing a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? But we gonna push through. So anyway, what is my definition of main character energy? So my definition of main character energy is basically like how I look at life, how I look at things is we are all in a simulation and we are all playing our own games. We create our own reality, okay? So we basically have our own controller, which is our minds, mindsets, our minds, our subconscious thoughts, all of those things, how we speak to ourselves, how we think about ourselves and others, right? And so your mind is your controller, and you are essentially the main character in this story, in this video game, in this simulation. And you should be, because you are you. You are your body, you are your soul. You are here on a divine mission, if you believe so, and you control your reality. So what you think is what is going to manifest, and how you act and all of those things is going to either make or break your reality. For a long time, and what I think a lot of people misconstrue about main character energy, because I personally think, and the reason why I'm saying this is because it's so synchronistic that what's her name? Amanda Seals she just came out with the interview with Uncle Shay because it's so synchronistic, because she's a Cancer like me and she's super misunderstood like me. When she was just telling her story, I was like, oh my God, like I resonate with that so much. I can't wait to meet her. I'm definitely manifesting that. But yeah, and she was saying like how there was certain roles that she had to play within her life where she couldn't be the main character, or where she knew it was in her best interest not to play the main character. And she said something along those lines as to where she was saying basically you have to know when to really like assert yourself and when to really assert your energy. And I was like, yeah, that's really true. But for me, you know, and how I see it, because she had a totally different upbringing and reality, and you know, no matter how she, and I'm not downing her, of course, I respect her, I love her, you know, she's like, I see her, you feel what I'm saying? But I just felt like maybe if she heard a different perspective, she would, you know, understand what I'm saying. But like, as far as like her growing up and being a child star, she's always been the main character. And even if she could just, you know, take a look outside of herself and see how much inspiration she brings to other people and motivation she brings to other people. And when I heard her say that, I was like, girl, no matter what you do, you are the main character, because that's just her energy. Like, her energy is just main character energy, no matter what she does. And it feels like, and it seems like ever since she was a child, she really was nurtured, you know, in that way to always have that main character energy. So even in the times, and it's very good that she's also self-aware on top of that and emotionally intelligent. But yeah, basically her saying like the times where she, you know, kind of knew to back up a little bit and let other people have their time. But that's still main character energy, because to me, and going into my version, my definition of main character energy is just basically when you are a person who is of self-development and you know when to apply yourself and when to, you know, just go with the plot. You know what I'm saying? That is literally the main character. You know, a lot of people out here, they're just NPCs. And for a long time, a lot of us, before we like have our awakening and we really wake up to the fact that like everything around us is not real, okay, and we are souls having a human experience, then you really realize like, oh, okay, I should really, you know, try to take this thing a little bit more seriously, right? Because, you know, depending on what your experience is, some people, they only, you know, experience darkness, and that's no way to live, right? Well, I feel like everybody experiences darkness, whether you're privileged or not, as far as, you know, materials and what you have, or even family and things of that nature, things that you can't buy. There's always going to be, you know, problems in your life. There's always going to be a complaint somewhere, but you have to really understand and understand that you are blessed and that you are the main character. So you have an opportunity to change it, whether that be by you changing how you think, how you act, something within yourself, or changing the environments that you go in, okay, changing the characters that you allow in your story. So that is really the energy that I'm stepping into. And when I talk about it in hindsight, like, I'm definitely like, yeah, that's the energy that I'm in, right? So I feel like, you know, I'm at a space where I can talk about it. And I've been like, Spirit, God has been sending me different creators that are super successful, and they just emanate main character energy. And like I was saying, even with Amanda Seales in her interview, it was super synchronistic in the fact that she brought that up, and I was like, wow. And it was nice to hear her perspective on it. But again, like I was saying, if she were to take a look outside of herself and just for her fans and the people that admire her and are inspired by her, she gives off main character energy. It was just like, you either got it or you don't. You know, like I was saying, as far as before you have your awakening, a lot of times you play that NPC role where you're just kind of like zoned out, just living day by day. And even if you are having good experiences and you have a good job and you have a nice reality or whatever, to be the main character is to have self and personal and spiritual and emotional development. When you think about a story or a movie, when you think about the main characters, or even just that one main character, like the protagonist or the antagonist or whatever, there's always they always give you more as far as like learning about the character. And you know, it's usually just the antagonist, the villain, that stays stagnant, or they had something terrible happen to them in their childhood and they kind of let that break them to the point where they're a bad person now, and they want to ruin everybody else's life because they, in their mind, have it that their lives were ruined, okay? So instead of them doing what the main character did or what the antagonist did or what other characters may have done, and do that personal development, do that healing work, do that shadow work, and really evolve as a person and still have a part in the story, but just not be the villain, right? So it's like there's the villains, and I feel like with those types of people, and even like the type of people that I had to energy vampires, you know, fake friends, frenemies, fake family members, you know, just people who are on a low vibration, who are just living day by day, not doing anything, living stagnant and stuck, and are mad at everybody else, and are in low vibrations like shame and jealousy and guilt, right? They are not recognizing that they can too be a main character, but you have to take it upon yourself to walk in that energy, to decide that you're going to change your story, that you're going to evolve as a character, as a person, right? And yeah, like when you think about character, even when it comes to like morals and values and integrity, and then you kind of like contrast it from like the characters in a movie, it's kind of like, yes, the same thing. Your character tells you everything about yourself pretty much. And when you think about characters from different shows and different movies, different people that we like and we dislike or whatever, we get attached to them or whatever, you always can see, and you start to get more attached to them the more that the plot goes into their lives and their childhood and the different things that they had to go through. And the more that you resonate with, or the more that inspires you, or the more that motivates you, the more that, you know, brings this feeling of joy or happiness or passion or whatever, you start to feel more attached to that person. And whether people want to say it or not, you know, we all have a purpose, And we all want to leave our mark on this world. We all want people to have good thoughts of us, whether that be, oh, this person had a successful career, this person had a successful marriage, this person had a successful life, you know, this person did this and that, right? And a lot of people, and this is like NPCs and people who wanted to be the villain as their character, they kind of like misconstrue that, okay? Because for a lot of them, they want power and they want respect and they want to have value and they want honor, but they try to bogart people in order to get these things. And that's really what I teach on my tarot channel. And because I really kind of, because of the different things that I've been through, and because I have Saturn in my 7th house of relationships and partnerships, a lot of my lessons this lifetime was on relationships and partnerships of all kinds, like just my connections with other people. And so I really channel and I really learn a lot, and that's like my purpose, to teach the collective a lot about their own shadow attributes and the shadow attributes of others that may be around them, because you don't want to really I'm not going to say thicken the plot, but you don't want to go off course with your story, because you just don't have people in your cast, okay, that are beneficial and that even want to see your documentary come out, okay? So if you just think of your life as a documentary, and you think of the people who you have in your life that you spend your day-to-day with, or you call on the phone, or you just give your time and energy to, because your time and your energy is of essence. Your time and your energy is pure. Your time and your energy is your sovereignty, because we don't have all day here. So, and that's why I really teach that on my channel, because a lot of what your wish fulfillment is going to look like, majority of what your wish fulfillment is going to look like, is connected to the people that you have around you. Because you can do as much work as you want to do on yourself, but what good is it if you're the only person that's doing the work in your environment? And we see a lot of the times how that turns out. Envy and jealousy, and then you put on top of that these are already people that are of a lower vibration than you, haven't done as much work as you have, whether that's inside or outside. And you have to put yourself around people who are going to respect and honor and value the work that you've put in, whether that be inside or outside, because they've either done as much work or more, or just about as much. And they understand where you're going, and they understand your passion and your purpose and what you are meaning to do, and they're not going to do anything to sabotage that. And they're also going to be tending to their own garden, and they're also going to be tending to their own stories and to their own character, and cutting out who they need to as far as like their cast and all of that, because they're ultimately on their similar journey. It's not the same as yours, but they're in their purpose, and they understand the value of discipline. So that to me is what a main character is, and I'm really been stepping into that energy, and I'm super excited. Like, just be yourself. Figure out who your authentic self is. Because another thing, whenever I was thinking about doing this video, I was thinking about, like, you know, all those 2000s movies. Like, I can't think of any right now, but the one where they did a bet on this nerdy girl, see if you can make her prom queen. So the cute jock, the popular cute jock of the school, him and his douchebag friends all came up with this bet that he couldn't, you won't be able to get the quirky. And she wasn't ugly, okay? She was just a little run down, and she was really into art, okay, of course. And so the bet was that the jock guy, the popular guy, couldn't get her to become prom queen, or couldn't get her to go to prom and become prom queen. So he, you know how the plot goes. He goes and he intercepts her, and he starts following her around, and she's kind of like, she knows something's up. Her intuition is telling her, like, you're not following me around for no reason, get lost, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, she's not really impressed by the same things that he's impressed by, and by the same things that the other girls who, fawn all over him are impressed by. So they're kind of like repelled. Well, she's kind of repelled by him, but secretly he's repelled by her too, but it's for all the wrong reasons. And eventually they become friends or whatever. She starts to like him. And I don't remember if it was before they went to prom or not, but no, it was definitely before they went to prom. Before they went to prom, she found out that it was a bet. But you want to know how she found out that? He only asked her and he only was talking to her and hanging out with her because of a bet. She found out because his friend went behind his back and started talking to her because she started getting, I don't know, well no, because she didn't even have the makeover by then, but I don't know, he just started getting irritated that his friend, because what turns out the boy really started liking the artsy girl because her personality, you know what I'm saying, she's down to earth, she's nothing like the rest of these girls, she's not worried about the same thing the rest of these girls are worried about. And he actually starts to find out, wow, at the core of who I am, outside of the peer pressure and outside of being karmic, okay, okay, and this is the thing, you have to be in the world and not of the world. But when you become of the world, you'll start to deject and reject things that are actually good for you because you're so focused on the surface level. And so you could see like his character development a little bit as far as, oh, I'm actually starting to like this girl, but whole time behind his back, because he started to like this girl, his friend gets jealous and he decides to sabotage the jock guy and tells the girl, hey, he doesn't really like you. And it was just a bet. So the friend actually starts hanging out with her. And mind you, the friend definitely doesn't like her, but he's just acting like it because he's still shallow. He's a karmic. He's not, you know, he's like pretty much an NPC. He's really trying to sabotage his friend because he's really irritated. He's trying to find out why are you starting to like this girl? Like, what's going on? So he only got irritated because of that. And so he immediately went to go sabotage his friend. So you see these types of people, they have no type of loyalty, okay? So they'll put you up to something because they want to see somebody else get hurt. But then when things don't go the way that they wanted, you know, things had planned, and they're not seeing anybody get hurt, then they have to intercept so that they can make sure somebody gets hurt, okay? Even if it is by telling the truth. He wasn't telling the truth to be a good Samaritan. He was telling the truth because he knew what he was doing, and he didn't want them to get together and go to prom, and for him, his friend, to change his ways and to see this girl as a gem, okay? So he intercepted, and the guy gets mad, the jock gets mad, and he starts, you know, trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, what's up? And that's pretty much all I remember. But I do remember them, they did go to prom together because I'm pretty sure he expressed his feelings to her and all of that. You know how it goes. But let me tell y'all about another movie that used to be my favorite movie when I was younger. And it was super, I used to cry, and I haven't watched it when I was like at this age in a long time. I know it's on Netflix, but I just haven't watched it because it's kind of like too slow for me now. I don't know, but I might give it a watch. But A Walk to Remember, that one is a tearjerker. Like during him supposedly trying to play her, she ended up getting cancer, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to tell y'all what happens, but yeah, you know, that type of thing really does happen. But when you stay true to you, right, as the main character, because the thing that you really notice with all of these girls and with all of these dynamics is that when you stay true to you, like even with the movies where, you know, it's a guy and he's quirky and weird and awkward and nobody, you know, everybody bullies him, nobody wants to pay attention to him. When you stay true to you, you will find your tribe. And when you don't allow people to play with you, and when you set boundaries, and when you make it very clear, hey, I'm about my business, I'm about my healing, you know what I'm saying? I don't get into the same things that y'all get into, so maybe that's why. But whatever you're trying to make it about, that's really not what it's about. Then motherfuckers will really start to look at themselves like, huh, ain't this something? You feel what I'm saying? And eventually people will come around. they'll either have no choice but to respect you and to shut up, or they'll start to see you for who you are, and they'll start to realize, hey, this is somebody that I actually need to be a little bit more like, because they're actually being authentic. They're actually, you know, being themselves. They actually don't give a damn what I think or what my friends think. You feel what I'm saying? And I kind of had to develop that from a young age, you know, certain parts of becoming the main character, because I kind of played that character. And I wasn't playing it, but that was kind of my character, like, as a kid. Like, you feel what I'm saying? People thought it was so funny. People thought it was so funny, and it was really just to try to lower my self-esteem, because like I said, and even in these movies, they try to downplay these people. They'll put glasses on a girl, they'll do this and they'll do that, but literally there's never anything wrong with the girls in the first place. Like, that's number one. And then number two, it's like, when you look at the characters who are supposed to be the it girl and the popular girl and the pretty girl that everybody wants to add, they're complete airheads. Nobody likes them, but yet somehow everybody likes them. It's like, which one is it? And that's the cognitive dissonance. That's the cognitive dissonance. It does happen in real life. I've seen it. I've experienced it. But those people, they're not growing. They're not growing. And when it all comes down to it, the more that the authentic people be themselves, and the more that they uphold those boundaries, like, wait, hold on, you're not going to come over here and try to bully me. You're not going to come over here and try to say what I'm doing wrong, when look at you. You're superficial. You're shallow. You don't have anything going on. You've been the same since first grade. You've had the same friends. You've done everything the same. But you're coming at me. You feel what I'm saying? And motherfuckers will really start to realize. They will really start to realize. And then, you know, once you realize, like, hey, the people that I like and the people that I'm hanging out with, like, they only like the things that they like because I like them, and truthfully, I don't even really like them. I only like them because so-and-so likes them. And then you just start to really go down the rabbit hole of, where the fuck did I get these ideals, these values, these quote-unquote morals, what I think I need to be doing, the type of job I think I need to have, all of these things. And that's what, in doing that, that's also shadow work, but that's going to unravel you to getting to who you are and what your desires are, and really stepping into that main character energy, because you start to move and do things for you and not for anybody else and everybody else. And it does kind of become like a drama, because you start to see how chaotic everybody gets and how they all lose their mind. It's so funny. I just love it. I love it. But no, for real, you get to see how chaotic everybody gets and how they lose their mind, and you really just start moving for you. You start to realize, like, you're not my friend, you're fake. You feel what I'm saying? Like, no thank you. I'm gonna start to do things that are for my highest and greatest good. I'm gonna sit over here at this table by myself, because that's how I feel every day. Like, you really just start to do things for you. And the people around you they'll look at you like you're crazy until it becomes them, until that's their reality, until they have to look inside themselves and realize, hey, I'm not happy because I'm not in alignment. Simply put. Period. I don't feel like enough people have realized that they have the chance to do that, because they have allowed society and other people, and even at this point themselves, to put limitations on them. It's like, who's making you do that? And then that's why when they see people out here living their lives and being in that main character energy, they try to insult them. And also, being in your main character energy is still being tapped into your inner child, which is part of being authentic, because your inner child still has different hobbies and things that it loves and it enjoys to do, like coloring, or even taking pictures could be one. I've always loved to take pictures. I've always loved to sit down and just talk to myself and pretend that I was in front of the camera and I was doing an interview, or I was just, you know, whatever. So now that I'm really doing that, and I have the freedom and the opportunity to do that, because I remember where there was a time where I barely even had a phone. And it was around the age where I definitely needed to have a phone. Like I was preteen, you feel what I'm saying? And anything could happen to me. And thank God it didn't. But there was times where I knew that this is what I wanted to do and I didn't have the tools. And then when I got older and I did have the tools, I was like, oh, I can't do it because, you know, my body just ain't on point right now. I just had a baby, or I'm pregnant, or whatever. It was just always an excuse. I was telling myself, you're an imposter. Like, you can't do that. Now's not your time. But it's never going to be your time if you don't make it your time. If you don't decide, I'm going to go, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to put my foot in. So don't worry about the backlash or anything, any type of criticism that you'll get, because a lot of that criticism is going to be from people who aren't doing anything. They're not doing what you're doing. So they can't tell you how to do it or how not to do it. Period. You have to really understand that and not let the opinions of others make you doubt yourself and make you stop. And definitely don't let you make you doubt yourself and make you stop, because you really need to ask yourself, like, reflect and say, what is it within me that's telling me that I can't do this, that's telling me that I'm not worthy of my desires and of the success that has the opportunity to be mine, right? And I had to do that for myself, and I'm still doing that every single day. Like, the more and more I have to apply myself, and it's a blessing because, you know, it's kind of like that saying, don't be mad that you have a lot on your plate when the goal was to eat, right? But what I'm saying is, like, you know, the higher you get, the more that you level up, the more that's going to be expected of you, basically. And so I'm learning that as a mom, as a daughter, as a sister, as a wife, as a fiance, like, and it's fun for me. It's fun for me because I'm the main character. Like, who else is going to do it? I have responsibilities. I have people that love me, and I'm really learning that, like, that's a blessing in and of itself, right? So that's all part of my main character journey, and I'm still learning and growing. Like, I want to get to a point to where I'm super, what's the word? Just like on top of shit, like with the morning's routine and the schedule and all of those things. Like, I'm definitely still working on all of that, and like being more organized and showing up more for myself as far as like self-care daily. Those are definitely on my to-do list, and, you know, leveling up my wardrobe, upgrading different things. I have so many ideas and so many things that I want to try, so many things that I want to do, so many places that I want to go. Like, oh my God, I'm just super excited. And with this main character energy, I'm just feeling like all I need is just the resources to get me there. Just really excited to grow this channel and show you guys more of my family and more of what I do, and more of me, more of my personality, more of just me growing as a woman and as a mom and as a woman. Yeah, I'm in a completely new phase of my life, and oh, I feel good about it. I'm super excited. I'm super happy. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and sitting here talking to me. I do want to do a 50 facts about me tag. So if you are watching, go ahead and leave me some comments so that I can know what you guys want to know about me, and I'll go ahead and get that, I'll go ahead and get that recorded and upload it for you guys as soon as possible. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.